So you left Transworld when?
September 2003.
You know the date? What time was it?
I know my birthday is September 15th, but it was right around my birthday.
Yeah.
We all, so there was me and Grant, Atiba, and then a bunch of photographers. So the photographers weren't really, they didn't have to be there to quit. They were just,
okay.
Like it was John Humphreys, Brian Ueda, somebody else. But just like, we, all three of us, me, Grant, and Atiba, walked into this guy's office and like, we're going to quit.
That's it.
What? And this guy had just come in, the long story is that Grant always talked, from 1998 till we left. He was always like, "We got to start our own mag. We need to do this." It was always like, "Yeah, Grant. How would we ever do that? That's impossible." And so years of hearing that, whatever. But things were kind of good, like especially for me, like I was in charge. Like if anybody outside of skateboarding had a question for skateboarding, they come to me like, "Hey, what do you think about this?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, maybe we can do that. Maybe we can't." Like, but it was getting to the point where there was a lot of corporate people coming in from New York that were like, didn't care about skateboarding. They were just like, "We'll just sell whatever. Can you do this?" And I was like, "No, that sucks." They were treating it like snowboarding, and I already saw what was going on. It was like, this is going to be terrible for skateboarding.
How was the mag doing at that time?
It was huge. It was like, right around that time that they were 400 pages.
400 pages.
So and those magazines were making so a 400-page magazine was pulling in about $1 million in advertising an issue.
Wow.
So 12 issues, $12 million.
Right.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, but they had like Army, Milk, you had like all these advertisements. Everything.
You had those, but
right.
like skateboarding was, it was 80% of it was skateboarding ads.
Yeah,
sure.
for sure.
Was paying the bills, for sure.
Soltech was probably spending $40,000 a month.
Wow.
World Industry or Dwindle, whatever you want to call it now. I think that was our biggest advertising. They were spending over $1 million a year in print ads.
Wow.
They
So
had a lot of companies.
Yeah. And back covers, that whole thing. Right. So there was all sorts of money going in, and you had the New York people thinking that, well, we can sell it to whoever, and that's where the Milks and all those come in. But they didn't come in at the same rate. Like a Milk ad would cost $12,000, where a skate ad would be half that.
Sure.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So that was good for all of us. Like it was. But they were cranking this, this wheel was going. And so these marketing guys were just like, how do we get in, from New York? They weren't even skaters. They didn't have anything to do with skating. So now you're seeing a bunch of other people like, where's my piece?
Oh, God.
Which sucked, but nobody was still telling us what we could put in the magazine or not put in the magazine. Which to me was like, well, if they're not doing that, then I don't care. Like I don't even pay attention to the ads other than the ones I like. So be it. They're making a lot of money. They're happy. That's business. Then there was, I think, January of 2003, like 13 people got laid off. Not from Skateboarding Mag, but just in the building. And these are a lot of people that I'd worked with for 10 years. Like from Snowboarding, from Transworld Surf, like just different magazines that weren't doing well. Dude's just gone the next day, like bam, out of here. And I was like, fuck, that's kind of fucked up. How like all of a sudden you those guys weren't doing anything wrong. It wasn't their fault,
right?
But business is business, and they're just fucking gone. This could happen to me. Like before that, I was like, this could never happen to me. I'm the guy.
Yeah.
Seeing that, I was like, oh, my eyes are open. This is kind of like weird. Grant, you gonna talk about this magazine thing again? He's like, yeah, let's start a magazine. Okay. All right, who do we need to talk to? And so there was an advertising guy that we had worked with for a long time named Mike Mahaley, and he was like, yeah, I'm down. We just need to find somebody that has money. Okay. I'm like, who has money? Tony Hawk has money. And so Grant and I had to, we went and met with Tony Hawk and like his sister and like, yeah, we're going to do this magazine. And, on paper, you look at it like $1 million an issue. We have all the facts of what this magazine could do. And he was like, he wanted to do it, but his sister's like, I don't think you should go that way. And, so we're just asking for, I want to say a loan, but like to be a partner in the business.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of denied. And we were like, oh, fuck. And so then Mike was like, well, I have this other friend that already does a magazine. He does a surf magazine. It was called Water. And he's got a lot of money. I think he could maybe come in. He might be interested. And next thing you know, this guy gives us $500,000.
Okay.
That's a good start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're not working in September, and we're not going to be able to produce a magazine till January or February. So we need to get paid.
Oh man.
During that time, so we're that $500,000 is what not that that's all we use, but like getting everything set up, getting an office, getting everything together, like making sure all's going. We went through that money pretty fast. Within by the middle of 2006, it was all gone.
Damn.
And that was before we started getting money. So we had an issue out probably in April of 2004.
Okay.
And that was profiting. So then then everything was going forward. But yeah, that without somebody that had to have that kind of money.
Yeah, to get shit started.
Right.
Yeah.
Because nobody wants to take less than their salary, like especially when the economy was so good and the skate economy was really good. Like you see what was going on. It's like, yeah, I don't want to get less money. Like, why would I start something to get less money?
Right.
Yeah.
In hindsight, like it'd be like probably should have started with getting less money.
Yeah.
But
Growing
those
business.
first 4 years, so up to 2008, we made a lot of fucking money.
Did
Yeah.
okay.
It was a great magazine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fuck yeah.
Oh, when it came out, it was
Beautiful
I
magazine.
mean, the imagery. I mean, just look, it was beautiful.
And
Yeah.
nobody bothered us. It wasn't any corporate people saying we could have to do this or do that. It was
It
like
was all you guys.
we can cuss, we can do whatever we want, like kids in a candy store.
How do you get distribution? Being a new
well,
magazine.
because and again, then that's what everything was. Like all you had to do was call somebody and pay them some money in New York. Like so, there's magazine distributors, and I knew that because my ex-wife worked in circulation,
okay.
so she was meeting with these kinds of people, and she worked for us. We hired her, and so there was a connection to these newsstand consultants, and so we hired them.
Mm-hmm.
And so they told us what we need to do, and we had to hire a printer and do all those, grown-up things that
Sure.
we weren't really used to, but we kind of were familiar with a little bit.
Mm.
And, it just it became pretty easy. But, so the circulation grew until it, just kind of stopped until the internet kind of started taking over.
Yeah, took over.
Put a
How
halt
many?
on that?
The what?
It's that put a halt on
I
that.
know. How many issues did Skateboard Mag do?
Is this pre-Berrics or after Berrics? All the way?
162,
162, I think.
All the way,
Oh
162.
wow. That's right. You guys went to the Berrics at the
Yeah.
end of it. That's right.
That was the restart.
Yeah.
Reboot.
And it was short-lived.
You know what was cool? What Skateboard Mag did have, or like you guys were on the internet a lot, so I would always go to your guys' website.
Mag Minutes and all that stuff.
Mag Minutes,
exactly. That's what I was gonna say. They were like Mag Minute was a huge thing that you guys did.
Thanks, Shad Lambert. That was his deal.
That was awesome. That was really cool.
Yeah, and then again, so we're mag guys, Grant, me, even Atiba, whoever. We're all have been grown up in this whole print magazine thing. That was number one. We just never gonna change. It's gonna always be the same.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna want a magazine. They're gonna need this. The internet, who knows what's gonna happen there? And we kind of denied that it existed. I mean, we knew it existed and we looked at it, but we didn't deny that it could be a place where you could make money.
Yeah.
Right.
Or you could, sustain a business. So we didn't invest in it. So every year, if there was profit in the magazine, we would just take it
Mm-hmm.
and just move forward. It's never going to end.
He smiles.
It dropped quick after 2008.
I mean, it was just that was it, right? It was just the money was advertising in magazines was dropping, and you guys, what did you guys sell to the Berrics or something, or how did that?
We sold to the Berrics in 2014.
That was what happened. Okay.
And it was, it saved us at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But in hindsight, we probably just shouldn't have done it. We probably should have all taken less money.
Right.
And because my plan for the magazine, in 2014, I wasn't out in the streets every day. I was doing a little bit, but I was just managing people, managing staff and okay, this is here, this is, I didn't want to be out driving around fucking sitting in a spot for 4 hours. I like skating, but I don't want to have to be doing that and do this other shit. So, that's when we hired people like Matt Price, Bart Jones, people that were younger. And I saw that those guys were going to be the future people, taking my job, Atiba's, everybody's job,
Mm-hmm.
they were going to be the valuable ones because they were more relevant in what kids wanted to see. I'm way older than kids now. I know skateboarding. I know that what's good skateboarding and bad skateboarding, but I can't fucking
be out there in the
You
trenches.
just can't like write something about like, here, kids, check this out. Like, I'm an idiot. What the fuck's wrong with this guy? You know, like,
Yeah.
I knew that, but
Okay.
we just didn't. We weren't able to get to that point before
Right.
we had, before the money was just gone. And again, nobody. We had 7 owners. Like everybody had a little piece. Everybody had a different idea of what was going to happen. I'm not taking a pay cut. To the point that there were people that weren't even really doing any work. I'm not taking less money.
Right.
Whoa. So the
tough.
arguments kind of escalated through there. That just.
Some of those egos couldn't be deflated a little bit.
I mean, I was guilty of it as much as anybody. Like, I wasn't going to take if dude wasn't taking less money, and this dude, I'm
What
not
do I
me
should
either.
do?
Like,
Yeah.
I go every day. Like, I'm as important.
Right.
And yeah, that was not working. So when I got the call from Steve Barra, like, what do you guys think about selling the Berrics? And I was like, yeah.
I love that magazine, man. That's I've only had one interview in a magazine.
And that was there.
I was there.
It was your wait, what do they call those things?
New Jack.
New Jack.
Yeah.
Hey,
Where is that like button? Right? Is it right here or right here?
just a little scroll coming down the bottom.
It's
Subscribe.
over to it's on your
It's on my right?
left.
It's on
No,
my
on your left.
Hey,
Yeah.
hit
Right
that
there.
button right there.
Right there.
Right
Yeah,
there.
please.
The like button's kind of like in the middle there. It's like we're kind of.
Oh, it's like
there.
right here?
Kind of.
Like
yeah,
right
and the
there?
subscribe's like over to the left.
Like right over there. All right.